What's up, sports fans out there, and welcome to another edition of Field Vision, brought to you by War Room Sports and Sports Kings. I'm one of your hosts, Devin McMillan, and I'm here at the round table with my man B. Austin, War Room Sports.
Yo, we marking them out.
We got Frank Santos in the building from Sports Kings.
Yeah, man, I must have caught the wrong party. I was here for Jake Locker's MVP campaign, which is Ricardo, but he's not here for it.
We got Jimmy Williams, War Room Sports.
Hey, plus size ladies.
We got Justin Arbogast, Sports Kings.
What up, baby?
And join us in a minute. He's having a little technical difficulties. We got Jim Ricardo also on Sports Kings.
His difficulties is being a Steelers fan. I think he's ducking the show this week, man.
That's very difficult right now.
Hey, Jim's still waiting for the Steelers to score. Give him a minute.
Oh man. Oh,
waiting for the Steelers to reboot. So we'll go ahead while the Steelers are rebooting. Week 1 is behind us, finally. You know, all the build-up and anticipation to Week 1 of the NFL season. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the bigger stories of Week 1 and then give our picks for Week 2, you know, as we usually do. So, fellas, let's jump right into it. The week started off with a bang Thursday night. Jimmy's Denver Broncos, after kind of a slow start, they took it to the world champion Baltimore Ravens. Of course, led by Peyton Manning in his career day. He threw 64% on his passes, 462 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Now, we know Jimmy's sentiment on this. We already know how great Peyton is, and he can do this kind of stuff. But Jimmy's not going to be impressed until the playoffs come, and he does this in the Super Bowl. So
he can throw 7 touchdowns for 16 games, and it won't mean nothing, yo.
I mean, that's a whole lot of goddamn touchdown passes. But B. Austin, I hear you over there celebrating. So what were your thoughts while watching this performance?
Every so often in life and in sports, a deity
4 scored 7 years ago.
Yo, and this guy who roots for that team is blasphemous when Jesus is throwing the ball. Come on,
dog, in the playoffs, he marked out. I don't care about the regular season.
John
marked out.
Yo, don't let this dude fool you, because he picked his team, so he knows what's up.
Yo, we have a great team on paper, but I ain't gonna get into this argument. Go ahead, Dad.
Let me hear from Frank, because Frank, you know, he's our newest member of the round table, so we're not really fully versed on his thoughts about certain people. What were your thoughts watching this Peyton Manning performance?
I was surprised he threw for 7 touchdowns. Obviously, he's not going to do that every game, but I picked him to be the MVP, even though I kind of flip-flopped and picked Drew Brees only because I made my pick after the Thursday night game, and I didn't want anybody to be like, "Oh, he threw for 7 touchdowns, so of course you're going to pick him." So, but no, I think it's just the beginning.
It's okay. It's okay to find God late, man. As long as it's fun.
I think Welker's going to end up being a security blanket all season. I think Welker is going to be huge for them, and I think they're going to run through the AFC.
Jesus had
help. That should be his nickname. That should be his nickname because that's what he's been his whole career.
Who's that?
West Security Blanket Welker.
Oh, West Security Blanket Welker. And by the way,
so I'm gonna give Frank the credit for that nickname.
We're
gonna try to make it stick.
Don't forget the little people.
All right, Jim. Since you're back in the house, Peyton Manning.
He's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, he's hot.
Sure.
I've been crying since Sunday. You guys can't see my eyes.
Oh man.
We're not going to bash his Steelers yet. We want to know what you think about Peyton Manning.
I think Peyton proved that he hasn't missed a beat at his age because there's been a lot of people saying that that's going to happen sooner or later.
With the playoffs,
and he turned it on and it was just unbelievable. I was loving every second of it, but I think they're going to definitely make a deep playoff run, if not go to the bowl, based on that performance. But it's only one game.
I still saw some of the things that I saw from him last year as far as his arm strength. Last year was way more pronounced, but it kind of seems like sometimes when he goes downfield that he's throwing the ball into a wall of wind. But, he's still accurate. The ball still gets there. But I don't see this arm strength being back like a lot of people say that they've seen on TV. Some of his passes just look a little, I mean, they got there, so yeah, they were definitely wobbly, but I can't complain about it.
Listen, Dev, all I'm saying is it was an amazing performance, but this is what he does in the regular season. To me, like I said this during the offseason, I don't care what he does in these 16 games, because at the end of the day, it's all about what happens in the playoffs. He can throw for 75 touchdowns. He still won't be God. Tom Brady is God. Tom Brady got the rings, man. So at the end of the day, man, if he marks out in the playoffs,
Wait, hold on.
This game means nothing.
Your defense robbed you last year, man.
You can't talk
Tom
about
Brady
the fans and having rings and using rings as the argument, and then get on the air and say that same BS. Come on.
I can give
we
you
be
context
the same
to that.
one criticizing the fans for bringing up Robert Ory having seven rings, and now you want to use Tom Brady as God.
I can give you context to that. He marked out his last pass of the season last year was an interception where he ran right and threw left.
Who's the dude that won 11-5 with Brady's team?
He marked out.
Who's the dude that won 11-5 with Brady's team?
And didn't make the playoffs.
Castle, man. Anybody can do that in New England. That's Belichick, man.
Oh, it is? Castle didn't make the playoffs.
Hey,
where's Matt Castle at now? Matt Castle knocked out.
Jimmy, your defense robbed Peyton Manning last year, man. He did his job for 4.5 quarters.
But hold on, though.
That's my mark.
Jim, let me ask you a question, though. If you're the best player in the league, right, even after the defense gives up the game, don't you want the ball in the best player's hands to win that game for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only bad throw.
Okay, now hold on, though. It's not that it's a bad throw. He ran right. And he threw left. He marked out. And here's my thing. My thing is this. It was a great performance on Thursday night. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Peyton Manning is a bum. Yes, I am. But what I'm saying is this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Regular season doesn't matter. They went 13-3 last year. I'm a chill though.
The other thing, though, is, like, if they went out after last season and they don't beat the Ravens, like, if any team had motivation to beat another team season opening, like, after what the Ravens did to them, if they came out and pulled a dud, then that would have been – Jimmy would have – I don't even think Jimmy would have been here.
Right. The Ravens really didn't do anything to them. Raheem Moore and Champ Bailey did everything to the Broncos.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, they still killed their season. You know what I mean?
That's not even true. But go ahead, Dad. Let's move on because I'm not going to make this whole show about this. B. Austin already knows if he marks out in the playoffs, it means nothing.
Justin, you want to get something in on this before we move on to the next topic?
I just think
he's enjoying it.
Well, he wins playoff games.
Who does?
Tebow.
Hey, you want the same amount of playoff games for the Broncos that Peyton Manning did? Who won more playoff games? Tebow or Peyton Manning for the Broncos?
Kick me while I'm down, why don't you?
I don't have nothing good to say about the Broncos. Let's move on.
Of course you don't. You're a Raiders fan. Fan.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the Raiders here because we have 3 quarterbacks, 2 of them rookies who made their NFL starting debuts. That's Pryor for Justin's Raiders, Geno Smith for the Jets, and E.J. Manuel for the Buffalo Bills. What did you guys think about the performances of these 2 rookies and Terrell Pryor? Justin, you can start with Pryor. I was about to say, Justin, you can start with Pryor since, that's your guy. How did you feel about his performance?
That's your quarterback.
Last week we talked, I thought they were going to get trampled.
Right.
So to me it was more of a pleasant surprise. I knew the offensive line was going to play very well. As a total, I mean, it wasn't just Pryor. The whole team played good. But as far as Pryor's performance, he balled out, man. And if he does that each and every week, I'll be happy.
I was actually in Indianapolis for that game. I can say that I agree with you. I think he pleasantly surprised me because I didn't have any high hopes for him at all.
Yeah, I thought he was a dumb athlete.
No, I mean, but in the first half of the game, I mean, he still made some throws that made you scratch your head, like, what the hell is he doing? His coaches had to bail him out of delay a game calls a few times, and a couple of times they just got to delay a game. So, certain things he has to work on, as far as leading the team, getting everybody where they need to be. But as far as, he got into the groove of the game, he got comfortable. He did a lot of running, and I think he took more hits than a quarterback should. but their investment in him isn't as great. So I mean, I don't know if they care that much. He ran for 112 yards, but he made some pretty good plays in the passing game as well. So I was very surprised.
I think he's going to be one of those guys that'll keep you in games and take you out of games at the same time. You know what I mean? He might throw for, he might rush for 112, and then the next game he's going to throw 3 interceptions. But I mean, that's all part of the learning curve. To be honest, I think the only one that can actually sustain it is EJ Manuel. I think Geno Smith was more Tampa Bay's defense being horrible than Geno Smith being good.
And the fact that the Jets even won that game was definitely luck. It was a silly play that got them in the field goal range to win the game. So, he probably shouldn't be celebrating a win, but hey, he got the win. They have to play New England this week. New England's a little banged up, but we'll see what he can do against those guys. Jimmy, and B. Austin, any thoughts on the 3 quarterbacks making their first starts?
Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, I was definitely impressed with Pryor just because they were supposed to get crushed, and he came in and he made the game competitive, and he actually gave Raiders fans something to look forward to. And if he can just keep learning and do enough to keep his job, I don't know what his ceiling is, but he did a great job for his first start in a game they were supposed to get crushed in.
Certainly.
Secondly, I'm with Frank on that with EJ Manuel. I mean, once he settled down, the Bills were super competitive, and they should have and could have won that game. And then, and I agree with you guys on Geno. He didn't really do much. Tampa Bay laid a huge egg for supposed to be in a good team all of a sudden. So I think they were all kind of in the same boat, leaving their teams competitive. But out of the 3, I think EJ will be the best.
I'm with Jim. I think that Terrell Pryor's ceiling is that of a serviceable NFL quarterback. I think that he has the ability to make plays with his feet and with his athleticism, which will always give him the ability to have a job, especially as we watch the transition of the NFL to more of a quote-unquote playmakers league at the quarterback position. But I don't think that I don't know that he'll be able to move the chess pieces around to be an elite quarterback or even be a real starter. EJ Manuel surprised me. I was as surprised with his performance on Sunday as he was where he got drafted. Geno Smith is. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Geno Smith. I believe he's headed towards bumping. I think that the Ryan family curse is they don't understand, they don't care about, nor will they ever anything of offensive nature. They don't care what's going on the offensive side of the ball. They don't know the names of guys on the offense. About 15 weeks from now, the Ryan family won't have anything to do with that situation. Correct.
You never know. And as far as Terrell Pryor goes, man, just from what I saw Sunday, I'm not the type to just change my whole opinion on somebody just after one performance, but he seems like it might be on the Raiders. If the Raiders are willing to teach, I think he might be able to learn. So, I'll sit back and watch that situation.
I can learn if you teach me.
It's gotta suck to be Matt Flynn, right?
Yeah,
2 years in a row.
Matt Flynn. That sucks to be Matt Flynn.
All right,
supplanted left and right.
Word on Matt Flynn is he's got a seriously chronically injured elbow. Like it may be that's the rumor.
He's chronically supplanted.
Yeah, he was chronically the beneficiary of prisoners of the moment.
He's chronically cashing that check, though. Chronically cashing that check.
Straight to the bank.
True that.
Okay, after Monday night, we had 2 games on Monday night, but like Tuesday morning, you probably wouldn't have noticed that because all the rave was Chip Kelly's fast-paced offense. If you guys watched this game, they ran about 53 plays in the first half. Of course, the second half it slowed down a little bit because they were nursing a huge lead, just trying to hold Washington off in the third and fourth quarters. But do you guys think that the way they're running their offense, do you think that there's any way that this can be sustained over 16 weeks and possibly the playoffs if they're lucky enough or good enough to get there?
if the NFL implements a third, like 3 bye weeks, then possibly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, to Jimmy's point, absolutely not. I think that they're going to burn some of their key players out, and they don't have enough quality talent behind those key players
Burn them out.
to sustain that. I also
think Shady
let me just say
McCoy
this.
might be dead by
Yeah,
halftime.
he's going to be
4.
dead. He's
Like,
going to be
literally.
dead by week 6. We all know that I'm a huge Philadelphia fanatic. But let me just say this: those teams that you saw on Monday night, the Redskins are not a good team. The Philadelphia Eagles are not a good team. We are the beneficiaries of a high energy system. People have bought in. No one has seen it before. The defensive coordinator and Shanahan did a piss poor job of preparing the Redskins for that game, having that much time. They knew when the schedule came out. I feel as though they did a poor job of preparing. And then,
but you only have yourself to practice against, though. It's a little different when the actual people who run it, come to town. It's a whole different ballgame.
That's true. But my analysis, and this is just my feeling, I can't get a real beat on this until probably week 4. But I think
scoring 7 years ago.
I think that 4 scoring 7 years ago, decisions were made in the NFL that have led to what? No, I was just running with that. Great teams are going to bludgeon the Eagles, man. Great teams are going to bludgeon the Eagles. That's
when B. Austin says key players going down, he really means Michael Vick, because there ain't no way Michael Vick survived in till 3 o'clock today. I think the thing that bothered me the most is Chip Kelly was like, "Oh, we're not going fast enough." Like, did the dude not see his defense gasping for oxygen in the corner in the 4th quarter? Like, they were gassed, and that's when Washington started coming back.
I was proud of our D. Our D did kind of ball.
They did, but
for a while. But we all know, one of the biggest cliches in sports is it's difficult to play with a huge lead. And it's true because you get into your soft coverages and everything, and you're trying to keep everything in front of you. So now the same guy, RG3 that you were making look like a shook rookie in the first half is now looking like Joe Montana in the second half. So we see that all the time, and the comeback fell short. But as far as the Eagles' offense goes, I find it difficult, to think that they can sustain that as well. They have to do a better job of getting substitutions in and out of the game if they're going to keep doing that. Because if LaShawn McCoy is going to bust loose for a 10-yard carry and then he has to flip the ball to the ref, run back to the huddle, and then do it again, by the 4th quarter, you're going to have this problem. So if they're not going into each and every second half with a big lead, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be just as tired as the other teams.
And the problem is the drop-off from LaShawn McCoy to his backup is so steep. And the guy that's backing him up, what's his name?
Bryce Brown.
Bryce is not bad. No,
he's not steep at all.
No. Come on, watch him out, Denver fan. Bryce Brown is no LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy is a top 5 back in the league. I'm not putting Bryce Brown in top 20. He's not bad. He is not bad, but there is a drop. I feel as though LaShawn is
steep drop off.
There's an open field drop off between LaShawn McCoy and anybody. Yeah. But Bryce Brown, they're just going to run.
Do you guys, Eagles fans, do you guys maybe think that Kelly came out and went guns blazing that game just to get a gauge on what he has to adjust? I don't think he's going to go that hard every game. He might.
He wants him to go faster.
He did say he wants him to go faster.
Well, eventually he knows he's going to have to mix it up. You can't do that all the time, and it was obvious in the second half Monday night. So
when Mike Vick goes
if that
down,
offense loses them a game or two, they're going to switch it up, right?
When Mike Vick goes down, who's going to run this off?
Nick Foles, man.
I'd be happy if I were you guys.
Foles can still run the offense. He just won't be doing as much running as Mike Vick. The team can basically key on the running back because this read option is always going to go to the running back unless he's faking the carry to pass, because he's not going to be faking it to run.
Yeah, if they knock out 93% of the playbook, Nick Foles is good to go.
No, but I get Jim's point also, though, because, I mean, him saying that they need to go faster, that might just be a little coach speak. They were snapping the ball sometimes at 24 seconds, 22 seconds. It's not that much faster that you can actually go in an NFL game. So he might just be, it might be a little coach speak.
He was saying,
he will have to
don't roll
adjust
the ball. Don't roll the ball. Go run and hand it to the ref and run back to the huddle.
But like I said about Terrell Pryor, Mike Vick took too many hits as well, and we know Mike Vick can't take that many hits.
Mike Vick was hurt that game.
He always does, though.
Yeah.
At this point, he is what he is. I mean, he's not going to stop taking hits now.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is and what he does.
Hold the ball too long. That's what he does.
I've never seen people complain about a win that much in my life.
That's true.
You don't talk to enough Eagles fans, man.
You just heard me complain about a guy throwing 7 touchdowns, though.
I wasn't here for 80% of it.
See, with Jimmy, that's not an average Denver Bronco fan thing. It's still that he grew up in Philadelphia. The pessimistic mindset is just there.
Listen, I want championship or die. If he don't win a championship, he can slit his wrist. Bottom line.
To be honest, Jim, just to address that statement, I know it was made in jest, but like seriously, in analyzing the game, I think that this offensive system was put in place to capitalize on Vic's strengths because he's not really strong at running a conventional offensive system. So we have to find a way to win in spite of him not being able to really read defenses in a conventional set, not understanding how to shift pre-snap.
That's one thing I noticed rewatching that game too. Is did he even throw a pass over 20 yards? I know he ran that play action only.
He did. They were all incomplete though. They were all incomplete though.
No, he hit Deshaun Jackson on a pretty.
He was hitting those 5 to 8 yard routes consistent.
Yeah.
I should have stuck with McCoy being the offensive player of the year. He does that for 16 games. Oh boy.
Yeah, what's the odds of him doing it for 16 games at that speed?
He is
Shady McCoy.
They were moving so fast I couldn't even tweet during the game because like 5 plays was taking place. Like it was ridiculous.
Oh man.
Yeah, Chip Kelly is messing up, Twitter action during the Eagles game. So I didn't think about it that way. Yeah. All right, so let's look ahead to probably the biggest game of Week 2, and that's the 49ers and the Seahawks. That game is in San Francisco, correct?
No,
it's
in Seattle.
Yeah. All right, so it's in Seattle. You got the 12th man effect and all that stuff. These are supposed to be the best 2 teams in the NFC. If you listen to the preseason pundits, Seattle's getting a lot of love, as far as people picking playoffs and Super Bowl. So what do you guys, somebody break this game down, real quick. Not nothing long and drawn out. Somebody break this game down.
I just want to say something.
Keys? How's one team how's the Seahawks gonna win? How the 49ers gonna win? Go ahead, Jim.
I think that this game will come down to turnovers. It's gonna be a very physical game. I watched both teams play in Week 1, and I watched the entire game of both teams. I was very impressed with Seattle. I'm not gonna lie because Carolina played them tough. They played a great game. Cam Newton didn't make mistakes, but they just kept hanging in there, and they're very physical. And those big corners. I want to see how they match up with this new look offense that San Francisco has, with Bolden going crazy like he did against Green Bay. It's not going to be the same against Seattle. And Seattle didn't even get the running game going, but Russell Wilson, like this guy looks like he's been in the league about 5-6 years at this point, although it's his second year. Watching his decision-making, I was very impressed. And I agree with you, Dev. Coming into the season, I was like, damn, people are giving them a lot of credit, but watching them play, I see why, to be honest with you.
I agree.
This game is like keep the women and the children at home. Like this should be rated PG-13, rated R. Like this game is going to be ridiculous. I disagree with Jimmy a little bit. I think the key to the game is going to be whether San Francisco can run the ball on Seattle. If Frank Gore can get loose, kind of soften that defense up a little bit, I think San Francisco wins. If they can't, I think Seattle takes it home.
I think it's going to come down to the front 7 of both teams. Carolina did a really good job of stopping the run.
Yeah.
And could be said for the 49ers against the Packers. I know the Packers don't really run a game. Both teams held their opposition under 50-something yards? I mean, did your team get over 100 or over 60 yards?
No.
But the 49ers showed that they had a better passing game. It could have been Anquan just going crazy, but Seattle really didn't impress me. I mean,
the way, because they should have lost that game, but is the reason I say they impressed me was just watching how they held their composure and also the plays that Russell Wilson made when needed to make, like when he needed to make the plays. Generally a second-year quarterback wouldn't be able to do that, but this guy, I mean, and it can be said for a lot of these young guys. It's like what they're doing to the NFL has never been seen in terms of their poise and the way they play the game at such a young age. But I definitely was impressed, and I do agree that they didn't get the running game going, but they held in there and they kept fighting because they should have lost that game.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a look-ahead game, too. You know, you got Carolina. You don't think they're too good. You got San Francisco next week. I think you're looking forward to it a little bit. Might have been looking ahead a little bit.
But the fact that you're able to still win those games, a lot of teams have those look-ahead games, and they end up losing them. You make the plays when necessary to win the game. That's impressive to me.
I agree.
I think both defenses might stifle each other's run games. It'll be marginal. And it's going to come down to who plays better, Kaepernick or Wilson. And they both played really well on Sunday, so this is going to come right down to the wire.
I agree with everything Jimmy said pertaining to Russell Wilson and his maturity and his approach to the game. Jim, like you said, it's going to come down to the play at the quarterback position and the front seven, because what San Francisco tends to do is utilize their receivers. If they see you playing man, they run you off, and they run intermediate to deep routes, not just because they want to throw the mid-range and the deep ball, but to open up the space for Vernon Davis to work underneath and for Kaepernick to have the room to make the decision to run. And so what Seattle does, they don't play any zone. They play 100% cover 0 or cover 1.
Well, hold on though. That's a misconception. And they actually broke that down during the game. Seattle plays a majority of zone. Everybody has this thing where they think Seattle plays man-to-man, but 60% of their plays, they run zone on the defensive side of the ball. This is something they will break it down during the Carolina game.
You can only run zone on the defensive side of the ball, bro.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is they run zone.
It's a mix of zone. They man up on the outside, and they leave Cam and Earl in a zone on the inside. So you are manned up on the outside. So what it is a hybrid.
Not true. That's not true. They went over this.
They went over this
during the game. They said that's a misconception. But I'm telling you, they showed footage of how their defense plays. I watched the entire game.
Are they running a 2 or a 3?
They didn't. They don't man up their corners the way that most people in the league believe they do. Did you watch the game?
No, I've watched Seattle play plenty.
But did you watch the game?
I've watched game film.
Okay, did you watch game film of all last year? Because this is what they were showing during the game and during the halftime.
Yes.
It's a misconception. It's a misconception that they play man. It's a misconception that they're cornerback.
You know you can run a hybrid where your corners are manned up and your safeties are zoned. You do know that, right?
But that's not what they do. That's not factual, though. You can do it, but those aren't the facts.
Kick his ass.
Listen, you can't do it.
Little digs in,
listen, you can do it, but those just aren't the facts. I watched them break down the game film of all last year, and I watched the entire game.
Told me what Browner and Sherman's responsibility is then in that zone. So
they're also playing zone. I'm not breaking down the entire defense to you. I'm telling you that you're incorrectly saying that the corners.
Just the corners.
The corners aren't. The corners are in the zone. They are not manned up. They aren't manned up. They're not playing man at all.
So they're playing up at the line then. So they only have a responsibility rolling back 10 yards.
You got to remember too. Left.
Go ahead, Justin.
I'm giving you facts.
So back to the Niners game. They're gonna utilize Anquan, and they're gonna utilize the other receiver on the other side to run them off to give Kaepernick the space. If the corners and the DBs turn their backs, Kaepernick is gonna make 1 read, 2 read, and he's gonna run. If they stay up hard, then you're gonna see Kaepernick's passing prowess, which he's worked at, and I've seen vast improvement even from last season. He's a much better passer. Russell's pretty much the same thing. They're kind of mirror images, but I think Kaepernick has more tools, both himself and in terms of what he's playing with. Because Russell's receivers, Rice and the other dude are injured. So I don't think he has the tools. I don't think Russell has the tools to compete. That's my take.
It's time for us to look ahead and wrap this up. Let's make our picks for week 2. I'll just call out the game and I'll go down the line. We're going to start with the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. B. Austin. I don't know what I just said.
I'm going Belichick's squad.
Yeah, I got the Patriots, even though they are really banged up on the offensive side of the ball. Frank?
Yo, I think I'm going to come off the street and catch a couple passes from Tom Brady, but they're going to win 49-12.
Dang. Jim?
Yeah, there's no way in hell you can pick the Jets.
Yeah. I feel that way too. Jimmy?
Yo, brief Patriots.
Justin?
Patriots.
All right, and we got the St. Louis Rams 1-0 at the 0-1 Atlanta Falcons. Justin?
I'll be taking the Falcons.
Jimmy?
Falcons.
Jim?
Falcons.
Frank?
Falcons.
I'm also taking the Falcons. B. Austin?
Falcons.
All right, and we got the Carolina Panthers 0-1 at the Buffalo Bills, also 0-1. B. Austin?
Cam Newton's team.
All right, I'm going to take the Panthers as well. Frank?
Yo, I thought I was taking an upset now, but now I'm with everybody else. Panthers.
I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they showed enough last week. I think they come out and play well.
Yo, I also thought I was going to have an upset. I got the Bills marked down. I'm like, damn, everybody's picking – I'm sorry, the Panthers, but everybody's picking the Panthers now. What's going on, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody believes in the Bills, I guess. Justin?
I'm going with
Jimmy, you better get beer.
Who?
Panthers.
Who he said?
Carolina.
Okay.
He said the
Oh,
Panthers.
Carolina.
All right, so we got the Minnesota Vikings 0-1 at the 1-0 Chicago Bears. Go back to Justin on this one.
I had a hard time picking this one, but I'm going to go with the Bears.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears, too. 3 interceptions by Cutler, but the Bears still win.
Jim?
Hey, tell that dude give me a beer.
Okay, you got to go with the Bears. I mean, they should have beat Cincinnati. Or no, they did beat Cincinnati. Other way around. But yeah, Bears.
Oh.
Frank?
Bears.
I'm going to go with the Bears as well. Be awesome.
I'm going to go with the Bears. Ponder can't pass against the high school team.
All right, Cleveland Browns 0-1 at the 0-1 world champion Baltimore Ravens. Be awesome.
Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well. Frank?
What was the game? My bad. I didn't hear you.
Cleveland Browns at Baltimore Ravens.
Cleveland. I'm going Cleveland.
Good trip.
All right, Jim?
Ravens.
You believe in those 50 passes by the Browns? I mean, is that what you're looking forward to? But
I think it's going to be the opposite. I'm looking for 53 rushes by Trent Richardson. I think they shouldn't even give Whedon the ball.
I'm going with the Ravens, though. I'm going with the Ravens.
I hope Frank's right because he's on my damn fantasy team. Justin?
Taking the Ravens.
All right, we got America's team, the Dallas Cowboys versus Big Red's team, the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Justin, who you got on that one?
I'm going to roll with the Chiefs here.
Jimmy?
Yo, I'm going with Andy Reid and the Chiefs, yo.
Jim?
I'm going Dallas.
Frank?
KC barbecue, man.
I'm going to go with Dallas. B. Austin?
Man, Andy's lost some weight. He's light on his feet. He's moving around good. I'm going with Andy, man.
All right, we're going with the Washington Redskins 0-1 at the Green Bay Packers, who are also 0-1. This game's at Lambeau Field, but let the Redskins fans tell it, RG3's, he was back in the second half, so he should make it difficult for the Green Bay Packers. B. Austin, Washington, Green Bay.
Yo, they shouldn't even play this game. The Skins already lost.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Packers as well. Frank?
Aaron Rodgers.
Jim?
Yeah, I got to go Green Bay just because they're at home.
Jimmy?
Yo, Green Bay, I don't care where they play. I'm picking Green Bay.
And Justin?
Hey, did you say RG3's?
RG3's.
He's going to be RG3 and out this weekend. I'm going Packers.
Oh,
Like he was in the first half Monday night?
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever was they called him RG Knee.
Tennessee,
oh,
the
man.
1-0 Tennessee Titans
Shut
versus
off.
the 1-0 Houston Texans. This game is at Reliance Stadium in Houston. Justin, who you going with?
They ain't gonna need to come back this time. They'll get it done.
Texans.
Texans.
All right, Jim.
Houston better win.
Frank.
Yo, shout out to Jake Locker, MVP, but I'm going with Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston as well. Be Austin.
Yo, no different. Houston.
All right, Miami Dolphins against my real team, my new team, because I'm a traitor. The 1-0 Indianapolis Colts. B. Austin, who you going with?
Yo, I don't pick against Mr. Luck or Lady Luck. I'm going with the Colts.
I'm actually still here in Indianapolis. I should just stay and go to this game too, because I'm that big of a fan. But I'm gonna go with the Colts as well. Frank.
You're gonna go see him take a loss, Miami.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Jim.
I'm also going Miami in this one.
Jimmy
Oh, I'm taking the Colts.
and Justin.
I'm going Colts.
Okay, so to tell the truth, though, I kind of think that the expectations for the Colts are a little higher than they should be. I don't know if last year was 100% real, but we shall see. I mean, they had a lot of trouble with the Raiders. I'm not dissing the Raiders or anything, Justin. I'm just saying.
No, you should.
But,
No, you should diss them. They stink.
all right, so let's take it up to Philadelphia with an 0-1 San Diego Chargers. We'll be visiting Chip Kelly and his fast offense. Justin, who you got?
I'm going to take the Eagles. I liked what I saw out of them.
All right, Jimmy.
The Eagles.
Jim.
Oh, Eagles by far.
Frank.
Joe, can we get an over/under on Philip Rivers' first temper tantrum? I think it's going to be second quarter. Philadelphia.
All right. I'm going to take the Chargers. I know everybody in Eagles Nation just started to boo me.
No.
Be
You
Austin,
believe in
who
Philip
you got?
Rivers?
That's not
Don't
even
do
justified.
that. Don't do that.
I don't think
Yo,
that
do
the
that.
Friday Night Lights offense will sustain itself. I'm going with the Chargers as
The
well.
Chargers?
You gotta be
No.
kidding
Don't
me.
do that.
Wow.
Don't do that. The
The
Chargers?
pessimism
Oh,
of Philadelphia
Philip
Eagles.
Rivers
Don't
from
do
top
that.
10 and not mentioned at all.
Coming off an impressive win and they're hating already on their own team.
Of
Don't
course
do
we want to be wrong. Of course
Yo,
we
I
want to
would
be
love
2-0.
nothing more than to be wrong.
Yo, Philip
man.
Rivers went from top 10 and not mentioned at all.
I'm just being a responsible analyst.
I want y'all to know
Oh,
that some
man.
of them plays we ran in high school.
All right, look. Detroit Lions 1-0 at the 0-1 Arizona Cardinals. B. Austin, who you got?
Cardinals.
I got the Lions. Frank.
Cardinals.
Jim.
D-Town.
Jimmy.
Lions.
Justin.
Lions.
All right. Who Dat Nation? New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 0-1 because they're just stupid. Justin, who you got?
MVP Breeze.
Yeah, I got the Saints as well.
Jim.
Sizz Aints.
Frank.
Saints.
I got the Saints, and it won't be close. B. Austin.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. Yeah.
All right, we got a in-house rivalry here. We got Jimmy's Denver Broncos 1-0 at Frank's 0-1 New York Giants.
Oh, here we go.
The Manning Bowl. B. Austin, who you got in this year's Manning Bowl?
Spaniard. Yeah, I'm going with the big brother.
All right, I'm gonna go with Denver as well to come into New York and do some work. Frank, who you got?
Oh, man. I struggled on this one. I got the G-Men. That they're going to lose to Carolina next week by 20 points.
G-Man. Welcome back, Brandon Jacobs. Jim.
I'm going to say the Giants pull off the upset.
All right, Jimmy.
Nah, it's not happening, yo. They're gonna lose bad, yo. My prediction is pain.
Nah.
Justin.
Pain.
Big brother.
In the words of Clubber Lang, pain.
All right,
Yo, he's probably right, though.
Justin picks the big brother, so we'll move on to the next game, which is Justin's team. We'll let him go first on this. The 0-1 Jacksonville Jags at the 0-1 Oakland Raiders. Justin, who you got?
I can only pick this year, and this is one of those times.
Jim.
Yo, I'm gonna take the Raiders. Yeah.
Jim.
This is the only no-brainer I've ever had for the Raiders. They're gonna win.
All right. Jacksonville's going to win because you said that. But Frank.
Yo, we all lose though by watching this. By having to watch this game, we all lose. But the Raiders are going to win the game if you can call it an NFL game.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
He said we all lose.
I mean, for real.
I don't know. My Sunday ticket might not be
Yeah,
flipping
this is
to
gonna
this
be
channel.
terrible, yo. This is gonna be like watching a snuff film. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go with the Raiders as well. Be off.
Raiders.
All right. So the Sunday night game, big one. San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. Be Austin. Who you got?
Niners.
I got the Niners as well. Frank.
Seahawks.
Jim.
I got to take the Niners. I think Kaepernick was just too good.
Jimmy.
I'm gonna roll with the home team. I'm taking the Seahawks in the 12th man.
Justin.
49ers 24, Seahawks 14.
He got the score.
Even a
and everything.
score.
Damn.
All right, and our last game of the
Showing off.
week, we got Jim's Pittsburgh Steelers 0-1 at the 0-1 Cincinnati Bengals. This is supposed to be the changing of the guard. It's supposed to be Cincinnati's division, for the foreseeable future. We're going to see if Pittsburgh could, do something to try to hold on to that mantle. I don't know. Didn't look good last week. But, Justin, who you got?
Hey, Jim, mute your speakers.
I already know what's coming. I'm not worried.
Who would take the Bengals?
Yo, the Steelers done marked out, so I'm going to take the Bengals as well because what I saw from the Steelers last week is just not Steeler football. I don't know what that was.
Jim.
My heart wants to say that we're going to come back and play our asses off and play a great game. And, historically we've done that after having our backs against the wall. But I've never been this concerned. But I think this game we do come out and play well, and we're going to take it.
Ooh.
Okay. Frank.
Yo, Jim should come to this game with like a suit and tie. Rest in peace, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals.
Put him in a body bag. Yeah.
Body bag. Yo, loaded
After,
looks like the casket and all.
I think our defense showed enough that we're going to be in the game.
Nah.
Yeah.
After Jim's touching speech, I think I'm still going to go with the Bengals.
Yo,
That's tough.
I feel like a member of Cobra Kai.
Whoa, wait,
Put
so
Put him in a
giving up,
body bag.
wait,
Yeah.
so giving up 200 yards and 16 points isn't a good defensive performance?
Against who?
Doesn't matter.
Yo, Jake Locker, MVP.
Just
Jake
answer
Locker,
the question.
MVP.
Just answer the question again.
But
Who?
it was against Tennessee, but we're still good enough to do that against any team. Our defense is fine.
Another place.
I mean, you did face the MVP, Jake Locker, man.
Did B. Austin bounce?
Okay, Romo.
Hey, B. Austin.
All right, we'll get his pick later because we need it for the tally.
He's watching game film.
All right, so that's our look into week 2. This has been another episode of Field Vision, brought to you, of course, by War Room Sports and Sports Kings. Look, as usual, everybody, make sure you comment on the video, like the video, share the video with your friends, make this show popular. Leave some stuff in the comment section so we can tell you how wrong you are and how right we are. So, as we always tell you, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in the war against ignorance.
See you chumps on top. It's Bronco gang, baby.
Let's go, Eagles. I'm sorry I picked against you.
Wait, it's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.